Today in Laser Update, we meet creative writing student and Veterans Affairs front desk receptionist Joseph Kaufman, who helps students ease into college life from their military service.
Later on, we catch up on Laser's baseball team and Coach Bob Piriano after their game.
Hello and welcome to Laser Update for Thursday, May 9th. I'm Colin Bennett.
And I'm Marcos Molina. Colin, how do you feel that this is the final Laser Update of the semester for 2024?
I think it's pretty exciting. We've all put in a lot of work. Yeah, it's been going great so far. How do you feel about it?
I think it's pretty good. It still hasn't hit me that it really is the last day of doing this program, but looking forward to seeing how it all shapes up.
Definitely. We begin today with how the military gets shown off here at OCC. Located in the Coulter Library on the second floor is the Veterans Affairs Office to help students who have served the country transfer into an average student life. Laser Update's Tom Moser has more.
Joseph Kaufman is a sophomore here at OCC majoring in creative writing. However, he has a more important job right here on campus.
My job is I mostly hold the front desk in the office, and anybody that's come in the office interested in any resources or eligibility, I lend them to either one of our associates, or I also answer the phone if anyone has any other questions, and I often hold events for the Veterans Club as well. There are definitely benefits to the job to help with enrollment, as you get money to pay for tuition or anything else, and it builds a good resume for any other enrollment.
Kaufman has always had respect for the ones who serve the country, so he knew he wanted to have a job helping them in the right path.
If someone were to want this job, it would definitely apply to eligibility. That's if they're an immediate family member of a veteran or a student veteran themselves.
Kaufman hopes to one day join the military and serve the country. In the meantime, he's staying laser focused at OCC to help veterans begin their mission as a college student.
If you want to be like Joseph and have a job helping the veterans at OCC, or you're just bored and want something to do for some extra cash, visit sunyocc.interviewexchange.com for more information to help both staff and students have a better education and experience here on campus.
While on the topic of the military, on April 10th, the Veterans Affairs Office hosted an event called Ask a Veteran a Question, where you can ask the attending veterans what their experiences were like while serving and how they were able to transition back to real life. Laser Update's Tom Moser has that very story.
OCC cares about the veterans here on campus. This semester, outside the Veterans Affairs offices, they hosted an event for students to ask questions. I caught up with Army veteran and Human Resources student Ray Portorando to talk about this event.
Ask a veteran a question about service, about being in the military, maybe joining the military, etc. The goal is to help understand about military service or your educational benefits or any other service that you might be guaranteed through the military. What type of questions you just typically ask? Anything from educational services to getting help at the VA to what our time in the service was like, how we were treated, how we liked it, what we didn't like.
If you yourself or anyone you know is a veteran willing to transfer to OCC, visit the website at sunyocc.edu/veterans or stop by their offices on the second floor of Coulter for more information.
Serving for the military can be very frightening, having to leave their lives behind to travel the world. Here at Laser Update, we would love to salute and respect all current and former military men and women who want to help, currently help, or has helped serve their country, risking their lives for the freedom of our very country. Thank you.
After the break, we will learn about OCC sports with both staff and students representing their campus.
And later, did you know the Split Rock Quarry which helped produce TNT for World War II? Stay with us here, but first.
Spring graduation is already here. Graduation will commence on May 18th at 11 a.m. and will be held in the SRC Arena to honor the class of 2024. Can't make it? The ceremony will also be live streamed on Onondaga Community College's live events YouTube and the Onondaga Community College Facebook page, ran by a few of BMC's very own staff and students. Congrats, grads, and good luck on your finals. We will be right back.
I chose OCC because it was local and I already took college credit in high school for OCC, so I decided to continue that. I chose creative writing because the course I took in high school was for creative writing, so I already had credits for it. So I decided to pursue that as it is a passion of mine. After college, I plan to join the U.S. Army as an officer, and for dream job, it would either be a public affairs specialist in the military or a screenwriter for a film company. Anyone new to OCC, I say do your work, attend class, and try and be involved as much as you can.
Of different people here from different walks of life, and I really appreciate that. I'm the president of D&D Club, and it's going really well. We're a slow start, but we're starting to move. I love this school, and other than some of the people, it's a really nice place to be, especially Unity Day. That's a really good day.
My classes are pretty enriching, I think. My professors are really knowledgeable about the things that they teach. Like my Shakespeare professor, you can tell that guy's a Shakespeare professor. Like, he's got it going on. The OCC community is really pretty tight-knit, I think. Everybody here is different and they have their own things that are going here. So there's a lot of unique people here. I think they kind of limit you your first year. You're more like in a track, and then your second year it's kind of more like, oh, what am I interested in? What can I do?
On May 9th, the OCC Music Department will be hosting their penultimate performance. The OCC String Ensemble will begin at 7:30 p.m. in their recital hall located in Academic 2, room P100. Welcome back to Laser Update. Marcos, how has this show been going so far for you?
I think it's been going pretty good. It's interesting to see how much stuff really does happen on campus. But let's direct our focus and learn about the sports here on campus. OCC Sports has been said to have the same passion as a four-year program. Baseball has an important role here on campus. Laser Update's Jacob Coleman went to the game versus Niagara Community College on April 7th to see how the doubleheader played out.
This past Sunday, the OCC Lasers had a huge challenge on their schedule as they played the Niagara Community College baseball team. Coach Bob Periano gave us insight on how they prepare.
Sunday we played Niagara Community College. They're one of the top 5 teams in America. We have a couple good guys throwing. We're going to compete with them, but again, they're a very good team. We're going to have to play really well and have big hits to compete. Our hopes is to make the playoffs. With the amount of rain we've had, now it's going to get packed up, so some of our other pitchers are going to have to step up. We play in a very competitive division. Finger Lakes, Erie, Niagara, Genesee are all very good teams, so it's basically 5 of us fighting for 4 spots.
OCC had some ground to make up, coming out of the 4th inning, allowing 3 runs. It was evident Niagara had come to play, scoring again early in the 5th. Unfortunately for the Lasers, they would be shut out the rest of the game and lose 7-1. In the second game of the doubleheader, Niagara once again won 8-5. For Laser Update, I'm Jacob Coleman.
The OCC Lasers baseball ended their season on May 4th against Jamestown Community College, winning 2-1. They end their NJCAA Section 3 season with 22 wins and a 19 record. They begin their 2025 season next spring in March.
Now let's switch to the digital world of sports. Esports, just like anything. Esports has had an impact on students here at OCC. Laser Update's Tom Moser asked esports players their thoughts about online competitive gaming.
Esports, otherwise known as electronic sports, where players across the globe play video games at a professional level. In the fall 2022 semester, OCC brought esports to campus for students. I spoke to the staff and students a part of the program what esports means to them.
Esports is a group of people coming together to achieve a common goal.
It's a complex level of competitive game, and not only that, it also brings a heightened sense on teamwork, which is very crucial.
Esports to me is an art. Basically, you get people from all over different backgrounds, you mosh them together and tell them to perform one task, and they do it very well.
Well, there you have it. We have learned that esports is a great way to have players achieve a goal as a team and how players view the world of esports. For Pulse of the Campus, I'm Tom Moser.
If you want to join the esports program, head over to the esports arena located in Gordon, right next to Starbucks, or email Coach Keith Edwards or Coach Jeff Pease for more information.
Do you live nearby and love exploring eerie and abandoned locations that look straight from a horror movie?
Well, after this break, we will have Tom Moser tell us the history of the Split Rock Quarry located right down the road northwest of campus. But first, fan of retro gaming? The Syracuse Most Museum is once again hosting the one-day event called Retro GameCon Junior on May 11th. And it's not only a retro gaming convention for kids, but for all ages. The event will host vendors, crafts, cosplay, tournaments, trivia, and of course, video games. Tickets are on sale now for only $12 to $14. Tickets will be sold at the entrance or order online today at retrogamecon.com/RGCJR. We'll be right back after this short break.
What made me want to come to OCC is to see how the automotive program is, and it's a good affordable option. The entire campus, honestly, it's not what I expected. I haven't had any problems yet, but if I were to, depending on what the problem is, I'll go to the Student Help Center, or if it's a problem with my work, I'll go to a professor or the Student Help area. During my free time on OCC, I'll go find friends around campus, or I'll go catch up on my work in the library.
I found that by going to OCC, it allowed me to enter in programs that would allow me to focus on like my personal life and my work. I think most professors here do want to see you succeed. All faculty here is definitely like more than happy to help, with any scheduling or future planning, or in regards to grades or anything like that. Like, I find most professors are more than willing. I could realistically recommend anyone to attend.
The Coulter Library is your place for entertainment. With over 77,000 books, movies, and CDs, there's always something to do. Your place for research help. Trouble with a project? Ask a librarian. Your place for quiet space. Shh, our first floor is reserved for quiet work only. Your place for IT help. Visit our help desk on the second floor. All this and so much more at the Coulter Library. Open 7 days a week. For more information, visit sunyocc.edu/library.
After 20 years, the lasagna-loving orange cat Garfield is returning to the big screen on Friday, May 24th. See if leading voice actor Chris Pratt as Garfield can live up to Bill Murray's voice work in the original 2004's Garfield the movie. Luckily, Garfield is not returning on a Monday because both us and Garfield absolutely hate Mondays. But let's be real, we're all gonna watch it at some point.
Welcome back to the end of this laser update, and now here is some information that you may not have known sits abandoned right here in Onondaga County, the Split Rock Quarry. Located northwest of campus on 3900 Onondaga Boulevard, the Split Rock Quarry sits in the middle of confusing trails in the woods. We learn about the history of the nearly 200-year-old site and why it's abandoned. Laser Update's Tom Moser gives us the information.
In 1834, the hamlets in the town of Onondaga called Split Rock, New York, built a limestone mining quarry called the Split Rock Quarry under someone named Gilbert Coons. The quarry was used to produce sodium carbonate, which is a main ingredient in certain detergents and in glass manufacturing. They built an elevated conveyor that expanded about 2 miles long, transporting under the solvay process, ammoy soda process. In 1912, the quarry was soon abandoned, but the reason was unknown. In 1915, for World War I, the U.S. military established the Split Rock Quarry as a munitions factory to build explosive TNT and made the quarry back running. They produced about a quarter of all TNT used by American warfare, staffed with about 2,500 people and more than 300 trained firefighters and watchmen. However, the night of July 2nd, 1918, there was a massive explosion with 1 to 3 tons of TNT was ignited from overheating by a gear at the number 1 TNT building. The explosion sent shockwaves throughout Syracuse and even to the village of Skaneateles. When initially exploded, there was about 600 total men working during that shift. However, luckily yet unfortunately, 50 men were killed in the blast. They tried putting the fire out, but the water lines couldn't produce enough water, and the mass chemicals that were produced were brought out. The remaining buildings were functioning until November 11th, 1918, when the men dropped the tools and ran towards the gate at 11 a.m. That was when the signing for the war was signed, and they shut their doors down forever on New Year's Eve on 1918. For the last 105 years since the 1918 explosion, it has been abandoned and has said to be haunted by the lives of who were killed over the years. It has been a staple of the Onondaga area, with the split rock stone crusher being the only building left. The crusher is now very graffitied from the lowest point all the way to the top of it. The graffiti gives the structure more eerie aura, especially because of it being in the middle of the woods, and is said the souls of the workers who died still haunts the place. Something that creeps me out the most is that there's still a bucket hanging from one of the beams that was crushed by the explosion. The bucket looks graffitied, but due to all the dirt and rust, the paint is covered by them. When walking throughout the hallway, it gives a very eerie vibe to it, with no flat surfaces, vents to the top, and areas to sit down and rest safely throughout the crusher. As I was exploring the nearly pitch black tunnel, I found it fascinating of how covered the walls are with the interesting graffiti and holes in the walls. The scenic views are also incredible because it is in the middle of the woods with trails all over the place, and there is even a trail that leads behind the crusher. If you're into exploring haunted areas or just want to check it out, I highly recommend you checking it out. However, I would be very careful because it could be very dangerous to explore. The entrance of the crusher is eerie by itself and leads to the utter darkness, so bring a good flashlight when exploring. To show how big it is, I'm actually there standing next to the 75-foot Aztec-themed crusher, which rises 22 feet above the cliff and costing at the time $75,000 to build, equivalent to $2.5 million today. The crusher has holes throughout it, and on the outside, it has very tight steps and holes towards the top, so be very careful when exploring the structure. Overall, it's a great historical environment to visit someday, either with yourself or with some friends. But just remember that the trails and landscape can mess you up, but have fun. And now you know the history of the Split Rock Quarry.
For something that was built in a cliff and adorned with graffiti, it looks amazing to explore. But as Tom mentioned, bring people to explore and bring your own proton pack, because those ghosts could still be roaming in the area. Or not, you can call the Ghostbusters nowadays to help you, so just be safe. Well, that's all the time we have left. This is also, unfortunately, the end of this year's Laser Update series, so thanks to everyone for supporting them.
We would also love to give a huge shout out to the BMC professors Mark Ballard, Mike Kaminsky, Rich Jarrett, and Antonio Vidala. Thanks for showing us all the skills that we have gained over the past 4 semesters and giving us all of the great memories during our time here with you guys. We cannot wait to see what you do with next year's BMC sophomores.
If you missed any of the past Laser Updates, scan the QR code on screen down below or check out Onondaga's Campus Connections YouTube page to see even more stories and shows produced by our students. We hope you have an amazing summer, and we hope you support next year's crew to learn more about people, events, and different ideas right here on the OCC campus. I'm Colin Bennett.
And I'm Marcos Molina. That's all, folks. Goodbye. Well, I think that went pretty well, considering I give it like an 82.